Hey everyone, today I'm walking up to this bridge because I seen something pretty cool driving over it. It looks like they added this walkway for pedestrians. I just want to look at the edge of the river. It looks almost as if there's a train down there. Now the other side doesn't have a spot for walking, but I'm still gonna sneak over there anyways. There's a bit of a lip here. I saw something pretty cool right over here. So first off, there's a lot of debris from Beavers. That even looks like it could be a Beaver lodge. But up here, that looks like a steam train boiler, right? That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a steam train boiler. And also right here, filled with concrete. Those are old, very old, riveted together pillars, I think for an old bridge. See that? I'm gonna walk down there in person and see what else I can find. And who knows what else could be in the water next to that, if that's like part of a steam train. Who knows if the rest could be down there. It's pretty cool. All right, so we're venturing down and there's a trail here. Is this other people going to look at the same thing? Or is this going to the water depth monitoring station? There's a little building here that just measures the depth of the water. You can log online and look at river depths, predictions, and history of rivers. That's what this is right here. As that gets deeper, it pushes through this. I think that's what it is. This might not even be connected anymore. Maybe they got a new one. Yep, I don't think that's working anymore. I think they probably got a new one. But that's not why we came down here. Look at this. We're gonna walk down, see what we got. So this stuff isn't even connected anymore at the moment. I see some tracks from an excavator. It's actually good traction, good stairs to get down here. I see some large, oh nope, this is more tracks. More tracks in there. And this looks like a Beaver Lodge. So this thing here, depending how much was pushed up, that maybe they're working on that. That's a pretty brand new tape. But this is what I wanted to see. Maybe it's an old steam-driven excavator, a steam shovel, something like that. That's from a boiler. It's pretty interesting. Too bad the water's so murky. And yeah, look, Beaver's definitely up here chewing. All right, everyone. We're only 5 minutes down the road from that bridge I just showed. And this is really cool. There are mountains of rocks like this for miles. This is from river dredging, so that it'd be deep enough for ships to travel. Both sides of the road is just piles from decades and decades of river dredging. Nice river rocks, but in between them there's crevices with water, and you can see down there the water's actually crystal clear, and the rock pile goes right down there, and you see the edges of all these ponds are covered in sticks. The Beavers literally made a liner between these piles. Because river rock doesn't hold water well, the Beavers literally lined the entire bottom of this pond with sticks and mud that they had to truck in themselves. Because a pile of rock, water's just going to slip through that. But the Beavers have sealed it up. And you can even see in here, sometimes the water level's a little bit higher. Down there, another beaver dam. They lined every single pond. Almost every single pond has a big lodge at it. And this goes for miles and miles. Between every pile, the beavers created a gasket with sticks. None of this water would be sitting here if the beavers didn't line the whole bottom with mud. Very creative. They can't really use the river, it's too big. The ice flow in the spring would kick them out. Floods would kick them out. They don't want to be near the boats making waves. It would flood out their houses. Pretty cool. All right, everyone. We backtracked a little bit to this pond. I don't think they had to seal the bottom of this one. But you see there's still lots of dredge rock over there in the background. But look at the size of this lodge compared to the pond. It's huge and you can tell it's still active. That's a really big pond. Really big lodge for a small pond, I mean. And they even have fresh material over there that they've been cutting. See, they're getting ready their pantry and everything. Pretty cool. As far as the eye can see is nothing but the rocks they've been dredging. They even smooth out areas and they have houses built up on these mountains of dredge rock. That's really cool. All right, everyone, we're on this section of road in far northern British Columbia. I wanted to show this because it's very, very cool. You see down the road, there's another one, and up the hill, you can't see it, it's around the corner, but those are plastic PVC pipes sticking out of the culverts. And that's a really good idea because in Maine, all the time, we see culverts early spring from the winter, frozen solid. You have a big flood going over the road. So when they come across a culvert pipe that is completely frozen solid, they just pour hot water down this, or even cold water would work. They pour it down there, and that allows it thaws out a little channel next to that pipe through the ice. Suddenly the flood water has a path, and it will quickly erode the entire pipe. Very quickly, in a matter of hours, it'll be completely clear again. If that wasn't in there, you'd have a solid blockage. The blockage of ice will probably last until even the flood is even gone, because the ground is still frozen. And maybe in this case, just having the pipe, the warmer air from the spring will just probably flow through that thing too. Just the air passing through that might even hollow out a channel. It's a very good idea, but this pipe doesn't look like it really runs too much. There's grass growing inside the dirt inside the pipe. But in the spring, this pipe is probably very important. This pipe could maybe do without. The one at the bottom of the hill, that one freezes up, which also has the PVC pipe out of it. It would flood across that very easily. But I think a truck probably comes out and just pours cold water through it, or hot water. Either would work. That's a very good idea. That's not a new idea either. There's videos of that in action on YouTube too. People will have that. Very good idea. Now, looking at the angle of the road, this is probably definitely not the case. But let's say this did flood. The flood water could potentially even go in that itself and thaw itself out, if you get what I mean. Pretty cool idea. I like to see that. Check this out, everyone. Metal bridge deck. There's a parking lot next to this. I thought there was gonna be a trail. There's not. In the parking lot there, someone's camping. It looks like they're going across the country on a bicycle. My grandfather did that in the 90s and when I was a little kid in the 2000s. We're checking out this bridge on Devil's Creek. I love these metal deck bridges. They're so cool. Driving over this, we couldn't even see the bottom. But we're gonna see if we can get to the bottom of this canyon. The second time after turning around, we did see it's like a white water, like that comes off of glaciers and stuff. So it's probably really, really cold. I don't want to drop my camera through this. Ooh, that feels cool on the feet. I wish they still made these bridges. It's really cool. The vibration of that camper going over this was so cool. So I don't know if we're gonna find a way down, but that looks beautiful. We're gonna see if we can do any gold panning here. We've tried a couple creeks and stuff. The first one, there was a lot of little pieces of gold in it, little slivers. Second one, and we tried a lake that was pretty rocky, nothing. Maybe at a place like this, if we could find a way down. I think if we bushwhack from the parking lot, there's probably a good way down. But we'll check out the other side here too. If another vehicle comes, I want to film it going across this. It sounds so cool. There's not much traffic around here. We're in the middle of nowhere. Let's see. Next to the bridge, how steep is that? When did they build this bridge? What does that date say? I don't think that's a date. I think that's a number of the bridge. I think past that foundation is probably a sheer drop. I think our best chance of getting down there is on the other side, maybe right there. We'll check that out. This area is absolutely beautiful. This is where we're gonna sleep tonight. This little parking area. I don't think this is glacier. It might be some of this. It's got a waterfall, got a good chunk of snow, but up there is a whole giant chunk of snow. Nice waterfall coming out of it. Over here is a whole giant area with a massive waterfall coming out of it. It's nice. Feels a lot colder here. And look at that, there's another big waterfall right over there. Beautiful. Take a few still pictures. Nice area. And we have this river right here. Nice sandy area. I bet this water is so cold. I'm gonna have to take a little walk with you down the road. Around here, they have a major beaver issue right up here. There's a couple clogged pipes, massive flooded out area. And look at this bridge. This needs a serious dredging. If there was any kind of storm, like that riverbed right there, if that filled up where you can tell it flows, nothing's growing there, I don't think this would handle it. I think it would go right over. It's so filled in. This needs to be dug out right here. It looks like they've done it multiple times. It just keeps eroding. In these erosion areas, it's where you can find little specks of gold and stuff. We're gonna try doing some panning. Still got about 4 hours before the sun goes down. I parked here. It's about to be 6 p.m. It gets dark here around 10:30 this time of year. I want to try to get to sleep early. I kind of want to get going right at the crack of dawn. Maybe not. I kind of want to hike up to one of these. This right here is just land. There's no water there. That one looks like it might be feasible to hike, but that's a lot further away than it looks. We had this bumblebee with us in the vehicle for a while. I'm gonna move him so we don't step on him by accident. Let me grab him. Please don't sting me. I was always taught to give them a flower or some sugar water to help them get their energy up if there's a problem like this. It flew in earlier. It looks kind of weak. Okay, it has grabbed onto the flower. Let me move it way off to the side. Oh. Let's see. Let's put him down over there. Hopefully it'll get some nectar out of there and start moving. All right, this is gonna be cold. I know it is. It's coming right from the ice. Yeah, pretty cold. I can't say it's any colder than the other rivers we've been parking next to. pretty cold, and looks like maybe moose tracks down here. That bridge is really needs a dredging. We're gonna take a little walk down to a culvert right there and look at it. Check out this cool rock here. That's amazing looking. Look at that. Western Canada has some of the coolest looking rocks. And what about the other one there?
It's just this green rock.
No, I think you've got a piece of jade there. And this area does have specks of gold, so we found a good spot here, I think, to look around. Where'd it go? Yep, there's a little teeny piece of gold. That's pretty cool. You see, in reality, it's not that big, but it's a noticeable piece of gold. You want to get your tweezers out?
Yeah, I put it back in the first aid kit though.
I just tried panning a little bit here, and honestly, just looking at the sand, you can find, yeah, look, there's another one. Where'd it go? Where am I angling? I think it's right there. Yep. Right in the middle. Let's see if I can get that with my finger. I'm gonna need tweezers. Yeah, this is very cool. Now we're going down the road to check out that beaver pond. This is literally numbing. It's so cold. But I'm gonna wash up in it. It's been a couple days since a shower. Wow, this is cool. Look at that one. So many cool rocks out here. They just repaved this section of the road. Let's go see what those beavers are up to. I've seen quite a few areas around here that have beaver issues. And I noticed in British Columbia they have a lot of cool solutions to deal with the beavers. They'll encourage the beavers to build it a little upstream. That reduces how annoying the beavers are. They're not as annoying on a secondary pond. Yep, it's right here. This is where we're going. It's as far as we're walking, where that pile of beaver debris is. Now, just driving by, I saw this and I thought it was a culvert. It might just be going down the drainage ditch. Yeah, there's no culvert here. I don't think, at least. But they've been scooping it out. They don't want this dam here, it looks like. But British Columbia has the cleanest beaver ponds ever. Beaver ponds are usually absolutely disgusting. Not here. They're blue. Clear water. And there's the lodge. This is one beautiful beaver pond. I gotta get back a little bit and get a still of it with the ice in the background. That's so cool. I don't think this is a culvert. I just saw these rocks and assumed. I think that's erosion when the water's high. So all this is going under that bridge. That's what it looks like. Over here's another beaver pond. That is so clean. Too bad it's so cold. And back there, that's all the beaver pond. Oh, are those beavers or is that ducks? Ducks. Back there, that's just the wind. That's not actually moving water. That's all part of their pond. But over here on the other side, and it's really nice, there's no traffic up here. And probably 90% of the traffic is motorhomes and campers. I see more water trickling down up there. This is just another beaver pond. It's not exactly flowing. So I'm gonna move back down the road now. Walking back, I'm just thinking about how these beavers never get a break from the cold. This valley here is probably always cold. The sun doesn't shine here much. All their water is coming from melting ice. So their beaver pond is always going to be super cold. I wonder if they ever mess with the bridge up here. That's what we're gonna look at now. If there's any evidence of the beavers clogging the bridge. Okay, here we are at the bridge. So it looks like the beavers' water comes in through there. See, there's a lot more water than what's actually coming from up there. Don't see any evidence of the beavers clogging this. Yeah, it looks like I could probably just walk right up this. Doesn't look like much, but that's probably a couple hour round trip hike. There's a lot of dry wood here. We came down this road to this dam because it said swimming. And we just tried going to the ocean in Prince Rupert, but they have no beach. It's all completely built up. In order to get to any beach, you'd have to take a ferry. But there's lots of dead wood here. This really cool walkway over the dam. And there is a swimming area over there. This area with all the rotten wood has made the water look pretty reddish. And this is kind of cool. The discharge of the dam is sucking in air. Look at this. That means it's basically siphoning. It probably has a whirlpool that we can't see. How's it getting all that air? It's quite loud. Let's see if we can see where that's coming in at all. Right here near these valves. It might be sucking it in through here. See, there's a vent. I hear noise. I think it's sucking it in through these poles, so we wouldn't see anything like a whirlpool under there. I guess it's by design. You can hear the air getting sucked in right here. Now this forest you see all around us, none of this is old growth. The edges of these lakes, you see the giant old growth stumps. Look at that one over there. Must be a good 6 feet across. I saw much larger ones on the drive in. None of those are still standing. Look at all these logs right here. Look at this huge collection of dead wood. And look at all the logs randomly floating out there. This area's got potential sinkholes. I'm surprised they don't allow camping here. It looks like a campground. It's got fire pits. Most of the provincial parks allow camping. This one doesn't. Usually if they're right next to the city, they don't let you camp at them. I think it has to do with crime. There's also no pull-ins, there's no rest areas near the cities because they probably get vandalized. But out in the middle of nowhere, you can park wherever you want. You just gotta drive like an hour.